ہے بخش دینا بندے کو کام تیرا، محروم رہ نہ جائے کل یہ غلام تیرا. یا رب ہے بخش دینا بندے کو کام تیرا، محروم رہ نہ جائے کل یہ غلام تیرا. یا رب ہے بخش دینا. جب تک ہے دل بغل میں ہر دم ہو یاد تیری، جب تک ہے دل بغل میں ہر دم ہو یاد تیری، جب تک زباں ہے منہ میں جاری ہے نام تیرا، جب تک زباں ہے منہ میں جاری ہے نام تیرا. یا رب ہے بخش دینا بندے کو کام تیرا، محروم رہ نہ جائے کل یہ غلام تیرا. یا رب ہے بخش دینا. ہے تو ہی دینے والا پستی سے دے بلندی، ہے تو ہی دینے والا پستی سے دے بلندی، اسفل مقام میرا اعلی مقام تیرا، اسفل مقام میرا اعلی مقام تیرا. یا رب ہے بخش دینا بندے کو کام تیرا، محروم رہ نہ جائے کل یہ غلام تیرا. یا رب ہے بخش دینا.
One of my teachers, Hazrat, is the founder and principal of Rahimi Academy and held the name for Center for Education, where Hazrat every day after Fajr Salah, Zikr Majlis takes place. Every Thursday there's Durush Sharif and Zikr Majlis taking place. Also in the evenings there are Alim courses taking place for youngsters and also for adults as well. Recently, Hazrat the Madrasa has also purchased a property in Farnwood. For further details, I'm sure Hazrat can, if anyone would want to speak to Hazrat or any of the students who are here, inshallah, you can get more details. Jazakumullah khair from all of us for Hazrat for accepting our invitation. On last one is as well, Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. Maulana Arshad Sahib, he's from Canada, and when he texted me, I was in Canada. So I couldn't reply straight away. When I came back, I called him, but you sent me a text, but I didn't get the text there because there was Canadian SIM in the phone. But now I saw your text. If the program is still on, I will come, inshallah. So I'm here sitting in front of you. May Allah reward Maulana Arshad Sahib for organizing the program, giving me the tawfiq to sit here. May Allah give me tawfiq to say something which is beneficial for all of us. Maulana Arshad Sahib instructed me to talk about how to spend the vacation. Holidays are in front of us. How should a Muslim youth spend the holidays? Waqi, long holidays, hot weather, too much fitna outside. We have to control ourselves. First thing is, we have to understand the purpose of our creation. Allah ne humko kyun paida kiya hai? Has Allah created us just to play around? Or is there a purpose behind our creation? We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself, and Allah tells us, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. The purpose of creation, the wisdom behind our creation is that we worship Allah, ibadat. We've not been created for note, just for playing around. أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. Do you think you have been created abath, without any purpose, and you won't be returning to us? That is purpose, and you will be returning to Allah. وَمَا خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاءَ وَالْأَرْضَ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا بَاطِلًا ذَلِكَ ظَنُّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فَوَيْلٌ لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنَ النَّارِ أَمْ نَجْعَلُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ كَالْمُفْسِدِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ أَمْ نَجْعَلُ الْمُتَّقِينَ كَالْفُجَّارِ. Are we going to make them both equal? Those who have Iman and Amal is Salih, and those who are mischief makers on the earth, those who are Muttaqi and those who are Fujjar, they both can't be equal in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Iman, Amal is Salih, it brings rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not only in the hereafter, rewards over here in the dunya as well. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَظْلِمُ مُؤْمِنًا حَسَنَةً يُعْطَى بِهَا فِي الدُّنْيَا وَيُجْزَى بِهَا فِي الْآخِرَةِ is in the hadith. Allah will not reduce or fall short in rewarding the good deed of a believer. Allah will give him in this dunya and reward him in the hereafter. Small gifts, tuhfat, taharif are in this dunya. Original reward is in the hereafter. So the first thing we all need to understand, young, old, men, women, boys, girls, youngsters, youth, we all need to understand that there is a purpose behind our creation. And we have to understand that purpose. When we understand that purpose of creation, our whole life will be organized. Our whole life will be systematic. We won't be running around like a headless chicken. What's happening today is we have not realized that purpose, and our main aim seems to be making money. We want to study, graduate, have a nice job, business, become millionaire, have a nice flashy car, nice house, nice life, nice wife. Ho gaya, khatam. But that's not the purpose of our life. That's not the purpose of our creation. We have to understand this from Quran and Hadith. Since today's lecture is addressed to the youth, let's see what Quran says about youth. Quran mentions one particular youth who was extremely intelligent, wise, and who was very strong, brave, who stood up for the truth in front of falsehood and batil, who faced all types of trials and tests, whose father threatened to kick him out of the house, whose whole tribe went against him. Even the king and the ruler threatened him, but he upheld the truth. He stood in the face of all these struggles. And that is Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ وَكُنَّا بِهِ عَالِمِينَ. We had given him wisdom beforehand, and we knew his capabilities. Allah goes on to say, إِذْ قَالَ لِأَبِيهِ وَقَوْمِهِ مَا هَذِهِ التَّمَاثِيلُ الَّتِي أَنْتُمْ لَهَا عَاكِفُونَ قَالُوا وَجَدْنَا آبَاءَنَا لَهَا عَابِدِينَ قَالَ لَقَدْ كُنْتُمْ أَنْتُمْ وَآبَاؤُكُمْ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ قالوا وجئتنا بالحق أم أنت من اللاعبين قال بل ربكم رب السماوات والأرض الذي فطرهن وأنا على ذلك من الشاهدين وتالله لأكيدن أصنامكم بعد أن تولوا مدبرين فجعلهم جذاذا إلا كبيرا لهم لعلهم إليه يرجعون قالوا من فعل هذا بآلهتنا إنه لمن الظالمين قالوا سمعنا فتى يذكرهم يقال له Ibrahim. You know the story. Ibrahim alayhi salam was invited to go with them in their function. They had some mela outside the city, and the city was empty. Ibrahim alayhi salam went to the place of worship and broke the idols, left the big one, and hung the pickaxe in its neck. When they came and they saw somebody has done this, they said it must be that young man. Quran uses the word Fatah. That young man Ibrahim, he must have done this. They had heard him advise them, why do you worship idols? You carve them with your own hands and then you worship them. They don't deserve worship. They're made from stones. It must be him. They bring him. Did you break these idols? Ibrahim salam said, the pickaxe is in the neck of the big one. Ask him. But he doesn't speak. Then why do you worship something that doesn't speak, that doesn't benefit, that does not harm? Now, they didn't know what to do. So they said, we're going to burn you and throw you in the fire. They threw him in the fire. But Ibrahim alayhi salam, look at the tawheed and tawakkul of Ibrahim alayhi salam. His clothes are taken off. He's placed in the catapult. The fire is so huge that they have to throw him in there with the catapult. And they do throw him there. When they are about to do that, Jibreel alayhi salam comes. Can I help you? No. Whose help I need is watching me. He will do whatever he wants. I'm okay with it. And Allah's hukam comes to the fire. Don't burn Ibrahim. Kuni bardam wa salaman ala Ibrahim. Be cool and salamati on Ibrahim alayhi salam. And it becomes like a garden for Ibrahim alayhi salam. Allah sends down fruits from Jannah. He's sitting in the fire and he's eating that fruit. And people can see him sitting in the fire eating the fruits. And he sits in there. He had the best time of his life when he was in the fire. Allah sends him clothes from Jannah. He puts those clothes on. And Ibn Kathir narrated in his tafsir that Ibrahim alayhi salam stayed in the fire for 40 days. Chilla, Tabligh Jamaat ka chilla. Then Ibrahim alayhi salam comes, invites them, but you've seen this mu'jiza miracle. Accept the truth. But they said no, they were stubborn people. Then he had dialogue with Namrud, which is mentioned in Surah Baqarah, third ruku of third sipara. And then he had dialogue with his father, which is mentioned in Surah Maryam, 16th sipara, 6th ruku. واذكر في الكتاب إبراهيم إنه كان صديقا نبيا إذ قال لأبيه يا أبت لم تعبد ما لا يسمع ولا يبصر ولا يغني عنك شيئا. Dear father, why do you do this? Why do you worship these idols? Why do you make them? Why do you worship shaitan? I fear, dear father, that Allah's wrath will come on you. Dear father, Allah has given me this knowledge and I want to pass on that knowledge to you. Please listen to me. But his father said, Ibrahim, stop. Don't stop what you're doing. If you don't, I'll stone you to death or kick you out of here. But Islam said, well, if you want to do that, I can't do much. Finally, Ibrahim alayhi salam had to say goodbye. Khuda Hafiz. And he said, Salamun alayk. سأستغفر لك ربي إنه كان بي حفيا. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. This is Salam-e Mutarakat. Ignoring someone. Khuda Hafiz bhai, mujhe kuch nahi hai lena dena aapse. This is story of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Youth of today, what lessons can we take from this incident of Sayyidina Ibrahim ala nabiyyina wa alayhi salatu wassalam? First of all, we see Ibrahim alayhi salam is brave, he's intelligent, he's wise. He's not giving in to peer pressure. Young men, young boys, young girls, be brave. Don't give in to peer pressure. No matter how much your friends, your circle will try to push you towards bad stuff, don't go on that track. You have your brains, use your brains. Be different. Even if you are a stranger among the community, be the stranger. But hold on to your deen and your iman. Hold on to haqq and truth and uphold it. Bad company, bad friends really harm us. Hazrat Bishr Hafi, rahmatullahi alayhi, said that 60 shaitans cannot harm a person as much as one bad friend can harm him. 60 shaitans cannot harm a person as much as one bad friend can harm him. Shaitan is shaitan. He is mischief maker. He causes chaos. And he wants everybody to go to Jahannam. He'll try his best to take everyone to Jahannam. But even he, trying his best, running around, pushing you towards sin, luring you, he can't harm you as much as a bad friend can harm you. Because shaitan can be repelled very easily. One la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, and he runs away. One a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, and he runs away. Ayatul Kursi, when going to sleep, shaitan will even come near your pillow. He won't give you nightmares if you read Ayatul Kursi before you go to sleep. And if he starts whispering in you, then just start doing any form of zikr. Zikr is like a hammer on the brain of shaitan. Let's say you're alone somewhere in the school or in the college, and some young girl tries to seduce you. Then just start doing zikr. Subhanallah, la ilaha illallah, astaghfirullah, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And shaitan will immediately run away. Your thoughts will disappear. Those waswasas will disappear. You are a taxi driver, you're sitting in taxi. Someone sits in the taxi and you start getting waswasas. Immediately have tasbih in your hand, start doing dhikr. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. Even if you don't have tasbih, astaghfirullah, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. You start doing zikr and immediately shaitan will run away, the waswasas will go. So it's easy to repel shaitan. So Hazrat Bishr Hafi Rahmatullah alayhi said, be a strong man, don't stay in bad company, because 60 shaitans cannot harm you as much as a bad company. Because a bad friend, no matter how many lahors you pray, the bad friend won't go away. He'll push you. He'll say stuff to you which will attract you and take you away. If you put forward any argument, he'll cancel that argument out. See that? He'll cancel all your arguments, whether it's boys, whether it's girls. If you have bad friends, you try to say something good to them. Chalo bhai, let's go to pray namaz. Arey chhodni yaar, bahut sufi bani ho. Chalo ramma jaye. He won't let you pray namaz. You want to wear hijab, the girl wants to wear hijab. Her friend will say, take it off yaar. Khel pe ron mummy na boy. Ye bahar apna town mein aaya hua, Trafford Center mein aaya hua. Ye hijab nu kam je utarne koi nahi pair tu. Libas. Day by day, our girls as libas. They see one another. They see things on social media, on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. They see stuff on there, they try to copy them. They give in to that peer pressure. Everybody's doing it, why should I not do it? Ibrahim alayhi salam did not give in to peer pressure. So the lesson we need to learn is be brave, be intelligent, be wise. Don't give in to peer pressure. Then people might ridicule you. They might be xenophobic, racist. There is lots of Islamophobia outside. This was in front of Ibrahim alayhi salam as well. Ibrahim alayhi salam didn't weaken, slacken. He never tried to hide himself. He portrayed himself as to who he was. So don't be scared about these comments and ridicules. Be who you are. That's the lesson to learn from Ibrahim alayhi salam's story. Number 3, Ibrahim alayhi salam remained connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, attached to Allah. We need to stay connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In your holidays, stay connected. Don't disconnect yourself from Allah. How can you connect yourself with Allah? The first and foremost, most important thing is your 5 daily namaz, salah. Don't miss a single salah. Don't make it qaza. Girls listening at home, don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Pray your namaz properly. If you get your periods, then after periods, do your ghusl quickly and start your namaz. Don't delay it for a day or 2, 3. Otherwise, you'll fall lazy. And then you start skipping namaz for many, many days on end. You have to remember, first hisab on the day of Qiyamah is about namaz. You had 50, 60 years of life. This is the amount of salat due on you. And this is the amount you prayed. And this is the deficit. Like an accountant takes hisab, Allah will be the accountant. Where is this missing salah? Why did you not pray these? No answer. And you're stuck. If your hisab of salat is okay, then the hisab of zakat and roza and other matters will be easy as well. But if you get stuck in your salat, then the hisab of zakat and roza and other ibadat and muamalat will be even harder. I remember the quote of Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu. He once said on the mimbar in khutbah, Inna ahamma amrikum indi as-salah. Man hafaza alayha faqad hafiza ad-din. Wa man dayya'aha fahuwa lima siwaha adya'. The most important matter of your deen in my eyes is your salah. Whoever guards his salah has guarded his deen, and whoever abandons salah will abandon the other aspects more. So, young man, in your holidays, I know you want to be free, you'll be running around, you might be wasting time, but make sure you pray your namaz properly. And what is the proper namaz? The proper namaz is in masjid, behind the imams or with jamaat. If you live within the vicinity of a masjid, your namaz must be in the masjid. La salata li jaril masjid illa fil masjid. No salat for the neighbor of a masjid except in the masjid. You have to walk into the masjid. These young boys, you have to come to the masjid. This is the benefit of having a house near the masjid. That even if the father is at work, the kids can run to the masjid. The mom can say, Ja beta namaz padho ja. Even small kids can rush to the masjid. Namaz time, Zohar time, Asr time, Maghrib time, Isha time. Fajr time, come to the masjid and pray namaz in the masjid. Alhamdulillah, in our Rahimi Academy, we have some youngsters who come every day for Fajr. Even when it's at 4:30, they come to the masjid for Fajr. And once we had a Sunday breakfast program, and I called one of those who was very punctual, and I, gave him some shabashi, congratulations. I gave him gift, nice big attar bottle. He was really happy. So we encourage the kids. They can come to the masjid for Fajr. They'll get up themselves. Parents won't need to wake them up. They get into the system, into the habit. So during your holidays, make sure your 6 weeks, all your namaz in masjid behind Imam Sahib. You have to be punctual. This is what we learn: steadfastness, being strong, being connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also, we see that Ibrahimovic was doing all this, even though he was not yet made a prophet. Prophethood was given to him later, but he used his brains, akal, and he was thinking long term, whereas the idol worshippers were thinking short term. Ibrahimovic was thinking, what is this? This can't be right. He was a wise person. Wisdom, rushd means wisdom. Allah had given him wisdom. So he was thinking long term. You, my dear friend, boy, girl, young man, you should be thinking long term as well. Down the line, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, what do I want to be? I want to become Hafiz, Alim. I want to become doctor, lawyer, engineer, professor, teacher. Think carefully, plan your life, organize, and work accordingly. Whilst preparing for this bayan, I was just looking on some websites here and there, how to spend the summer vacation. And I saw this website which is called WikiHa, like WikiLeaks. And it said, stay organized. I'll read something from there. Make some summer goals. Write down that in these 6 weeks holidays, this is what I want to do. It says there, number 2, clean your room. Get rid of all the mess. Your old clothes, trash, lying around here and there. For us Muslims, give them in charity. Ummah welfare mein dal do. Purane kapde, naye kapde aayenge. There's too much in the house. There's not enough space. So get rid of all old stuff which you don't need. It says in there, clean your garden. Do some gardening if you have a garden. Number 3, mark any important events on the calendar and try and go and participate in those events. Find out where there's programs, bayans, Khatmi Bukhari Sharif, this, that. I'm going to go to this program, and go. Number 4, stay active. And for staying active, it says in there, go swimming. If you don't know how to swim, then learn swimming. Go running, take hike. Number 5, visit family, friends, plan a picnic. If your families live in another town, go and visit them. Friends, visit friends. Plan a picnic. Number 6, travel around the world. If you're old, if you're grown up, you have money, your parents have money, go. I would say go for Umrah. Inshallah, we're going on for Umrah on the 20th August for 2 weeks. Go. I'm going to take my young grandsons, inshallah. When you go to Makkah, Mukarramah, Medina, Munawwara, your brain opens up. You become a bit broad-minded. You learn your roots. This is who we are. This is Deen Islam. This is Kaaba Sharif. This is Rawza of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. If you want to go back home, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, go visit your families there. You learn your roots, your Asian culture. And culture keeps you connected to your family members and to your deen as well. Social life is important. It keeps you connected to your deen. We don't speak Gujarati in our homes. We should be speaking Gujarati. You go to Bengalis' homes, they'll always be speaking Bengali in their homes. And even their smallest kids speak Bengali. In their homes, speaking English is haram. And this is why they stay attached, connected to their culture. When you stay connected to your culture, you stay connected to your deen. Because they both can go hand in hand. Our libas, our chubba, our topi, our dhari, our parents, our grandparents, how they used to behave, how they used to live. You learn that. So another tip was there, travel around the world. Number 7, read some nice books. Make a habit of reading. That in these 6 weeks holidays, I want to read this book or this many books. Yesterday I was with Maulana Ismail Nakhuda Sahab, and he was telling me that I was bayat to Maulana Abdul Hafiz Makki Sahab, and I used to phone him regularly. So he told me that I was still in a dorm in Darul Bari, and he said to me, read Abbiti of Hazrat Sheikh and keep phoning me how many pages you read and where you are. So he said I would regularly phone him and I would tell him, I'm up to here, I'm up to here, I've read this much, I've read that much. And I finished the whole Abbiti, which is in 7 volumes. And then he said, now you read Tazkiratul Rashid. And then Tazkiratul Khalil. This is our Akabir's Sawane. And then this carried on until Abi Chaharu Mishkat. And then Hazrat once asked me, you've been reading for so much, how do you feel now? And I said to him, Hazrat, I'm so fond of reading that I can't sleep without reading now. Every night I have to read something, otherwise I can't sleep. I said, MashaAllah, you've got into the system of reading. We need to get into this system, read some kitab. Any kitab which you like, Deeni kitab. Ask Mufti Arshad Sahab, Maulana Ismail Sahab, give me some advice. Which kitab is nice for me to read? And read those kitabs. I'll give you one advice. Read Fadail Sadaqat of Hazrat Shaykh Rahmatullah Ali first. And then read Fazail Amal cover to cover. Read Hikayat Sahaba, stories of Sahaba. It's a wonderful kitab. Only stories in there. Every child should read Hikayat Sahaba. It's easy, it's in English, available. So make a goal that in these 6 weeks holidays, I'm going to read Fazail Amal cover to cover, Fazail Sadaqat cover to cover, Hazrat Sheikh's kitabs, whichever I get. Hazrat, and always, look at the author first before you read the kitab. Don't judge a book by its cover. The cover might be really nice and appealing, but you don't know who the author is. Check the author first. Read books of our Akabir Mashayikh, Hazrat Sheikh Zakaria, Hazrat Maulana Ashraf Ali Thanvi. Zara thoda aage badh jao, move forward a little bit. Muhammad Sulaiman, move forward. Read some books of our Akabir and Mashayikh. It says in there, number 8. This is for ladies, young girls. In your 6 weeks holidays, learn how to cook. लड़कियों को खाना पकाना नहीं आता. स्कूल का बहाना बनाती हैं, कॉलेज का बहाना बनाती हैं, यूनी का बहाना बनाती हैं. अभी तो यूनी की छुट्टी है 2 महीने की, तो अपनी मम्मी के साथ किचन में काम करो, खाना पकाना सीखो. You should learn how to cook. They say the way to a man's heart is his stomach. How true. When you get married, you want to win your husband's heart, you'll have to cook nice food. If you cook nice food, you'll win him over. He'll be yours. He'll do whatever you say. Then you won't have to come to Maulana Sahab for taweez. Maulana Sahab, हमारा husband हमारा कहलू नहीं करता. तारे कहलू करो उनका husband कहलू करे. So in these holidays, learn how to cook. 2 months, 6 weeks, 2 months. One nice time, stay in the kitchen with your mom. Learn housework, laundry, washing, ironing. Girls, this is a skill. And you have to develop that skill in you, bring it in you. Cooking, cleaning, washing, all these things. Number 9, it said, if you are talented, write a book. Many youngsters are very talented. So in the holidays, sit down, pen something, write a book. Hazrat Sheikh Rahmatullah Alayhi was a prolific writer. He has a very nice book, Tarikh-e Mashayikh Chisht. And I think he wrote it during his travels from Saharanpur to Delhi, back and forth. He used to go to Delhi publishers to print Bazalul Majhood of Hazrat Sheikh Rahmatullah Alayhi. Now it's a 6-7 hour journey by train. So he says, I used to sit in the train of 6-7 hours. What am I to do? So I used to study and I used to write. So he wrote Tarikh-e Mashayikh Chisht during his travels in the train. And you can do it, right? Start writing small booklets, some nice book, and inshallah, you'll become a good writer. We have in our maktabs and Nasiha books. Maulana Yahya Abu, he writes it himself. He likes writing, so he writes a book, he teaches, and then he edits, and then he publishes it, and then he goes out to the maktab. So he writes the books himself. You can be a good writer as well. And finally, it says, the least you can do is go around, and help some poor people. And at the moment, we're going through tough times. There are lots of poor people outside. Help them. If you know someone who needs gardening, some help, some old men, women, or elderly who need shopping, make a habit of going around, helping them. The other day, I came out of my house for Jummah Namaz, Rubayan. As I sat in my car, I saw on the pavement this young man and a young girl with one baby in the push chair, another baby in the lap, and bichare, she was, changing the clothes. I had a pity on them. So I was sitting in the car, so I just turned my car around. I took a 10-pound note from my pocket, and I said, are you okay? Do you need something? And I said, no, we're all right. So I take this 10 pound, buy something for your kids. Oh, thank you so much. And they are human beings. Our deen teaches us that even if we give water to a dog, Allah forgives. And these people are human beings. They are like us. If we have pity for them, if we are nice to them, Allah will see everything. Allah will reward us. There are lots of poor, destitute people around in our neighborhood. If you know someone, go and help them, support them, do some charitable work. So these are some 10 tips from that website. Going back to Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam story, lessons we can learn from there. It says here, one of the points is, I indicated to that as well, that look at Ibrahim alayhi salam. When the going got tough, he did not give up. What we do today is, when we have a bit of tough time, we shy away. We don't want to say that I am Muslim. We want to be like them. We'll dress like them. We'll try to look like them. We'll remove our clothing, put t-shirts on, maybe shorts, wear clothes like them. Girls, maybe remove their hijab, Nauzubillah, make hair like them. But still, our skin color will give it. We can't be 100% like them. We are who we are. We have to stay who we are. Don't be shy of your identity. We are Asians, we are Muslims, Alhamdulillah for that. We will wear our libas and we will live the way we are. This is what Ibrahim alayhi salam did. They wanted Ibrahim alayhi salam to be like them. Ibrahim alayhi salam said, no. If you're doing wrong, if everybody is jumping off the cliff, I'm not going to jump off the cliff. I have to use my brains. So young man, be like Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam. Another point to learn over here, Ibrahim alayhi salam's father threatened him. He threatened to kill him. or extradite him, kick him out of the house. But look at Ibrahim alayhi salam, how polite he was to his father. Ya abati, ya abati, ya abati. Dear father, dear father, dear father. The way of speaking to father. Salamun alayka, peace be upon you. Sa'astaghfiru laka rabbi. I will ask Allah to forgive you. In spite of all those warnings and threatenings. This is what Quran teaches us. وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ حُسْنًا وَإِنْ جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَنْ تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. We have instructed man to be extremely kind to his parents. If they force you to commit shirk, then don't do what they force you to do. However, وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. Give them good company in this dunya in a reasonable way. Allahu Akbar. Now look, even if your parents are mushrik, you have to be nice to them. And today, our kids shout at their parents. Oh, but you do this, you do this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. You're so rude. You're this, you're that. That's not the way to behave with your parents. That's not the way to behave with your parents. Don't learn from Simpsons. Learn from Quran and Hadith. Ibrahim alayhi salam said, dear father, dear father. And then at the end, when he had no way, but he had to leave, he said, Salamun alaykum. Okay, I'm going, no worries. You want to kick me out? No problem. سأستغفر لك ربي إنه كان بي حفيا وأعتزلكم وما تدعون من دون الله وأدعو ربي عسى ألا أكون بدعاء ربي شقيا. Ibrahim Islam left. Now, this is another point to note. When you sacrifice for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah does not let any single deed go to waste. Allah rewards you, repays you instantly. How old was Ibrahim alayhi salam when he left his hometown? 90 years old. At that age, he had worked over his community for 90 years. He did sabr with them for 90 years. And then he left. Who was with him? His wife Sarah alayhi salam and his nephew Lut alayhi salam. Was only 3 people. And he had to leave Canaan, Babylon. And he traveled from Iraq, Babil. Traveled, he went to Egypt. That incident happened where the ruler tried to rape Sarah alayhi salam. Allah saved her, and the ruler gifted her Hajra alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam, she brings him to Ibrahim alayhi salam, frees her, marries her. He has 2 wives now. Ibrahim alayhi salam comes to Palestine. Now Hajra alayhi salam becomes pregnant, and then Ismail alayhi salam is born. And then Sarah alayhi salam also gives birth to Ishaq alayhi salam. And after Ishaq alayhi salam, Yaqub alayhi salam is born. Allah Pak now gives him grandson as well. He has son and grandson. Yaqub alayhi salam was born in the life of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Imagine for 90 years he was childless. But when he gave everything up for Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him a large extended family. Ismail alayhi salam and then Ishaq alayhi salam and grandchildren, and his family spread out. And Allah gave him so much. Ibrahim alayhi salam was very wealthy. He used to trade in goats and sheep. And he used to slaughter goats and sheep for mehmans and guests. Allah Pak blessed him. فلما اعتزلهم وما يعبدون من دون الله وهبنا له إسحاق ويعقوب وكلا جعلنا نبيا. We made them both prophets, all of them prophets. Ismail prophet, Ishaq prophet, Yaqub prophet. ووهبنا لهم من رحمتنا وجعلنا لهم لسان صدق عليا. We showered upon them our rahmat and mercy, and we gave them a good name in the generations to come after. This is all based on sacrifice. So, my dear young brothers, sisters, boys, girls, be respectful to your parents. And if they kick you out of the house, don't worry, do sabr. Be patient, like Ibrahimovic did sabr, patient. And if you have to leave for some reason, because in this climate, sometimes kids have to leave the homes of their parents. No problem if you have to leave, then, but you have to be respectful to your parents. And if you are respectful, Allah sees what's in your hearts. Allah will reward you. Allah will give you more, inshallah. So these are few lessons to learn. Finally, closing, remember, time is extremely valuable. During your 6 weeks holidays, 2 months, don't waste time. Right? Time is like a river which is flowing really fast. You're standing in one place, you see the water flowing away. The water which has gone is not going to come back. Even if you run after it, you can't catch it. That's your time. Every day, 24/7, your life is running like that flowing fast water. You don't realize it. But day by day, your life is melting away. हो रही है उम्र मिसले बर्फ खत्म चुपके चुपके रफ्ता रफ्ता दम बदम सांस है एक रह रवे मुल्की अदम दफअतन एक दिन ये हो जाएगा थम एक दिन मरना है आखिर मौत है कर ले जो करना है आखिर मौत है. How many friends' janazas you've carried on your shoulders? Does that not remind you of your death? And believe me, after you die, you can't do anything. Ibn al-Jawzi said, if the dead in their qabrs were given just 24 hours to come back in this dunya, they would love to come back here and they would not waste a single minute. They would always keep busy in some zikr, fikr, doing something because they know the value of the life in the grave. Time is your most valuable, precious asset. Don't waste time. We waste it. We don't value it. Our seniors, our elders, our akabir, they realize the value of time. They never wasted time. That's why there was so much barakat in their time. They did so much work. You can't do anything. Just wasting time. We say we're killing time. You watch a 3 hours movie, so we're killing time. You shouldn't kill time. You shouldn't kill an innocent person. Time is your most valuable asset. Why do you kill time for? Do something constructive. Keep yourself busy. Especially, biggest fitna of this time is mobile phone. It makes us waste so much time. And then if you sin on there, if you watch dirty movies, films, everything, then that's even worse. Is Qayamat ke din hisab dena padega. Your feet won't move from their places on the day of Qiyamah until you answer 4 questions. The first question is your life. Fima afna, where did you finish your life? Shababihi fima abla, your youth. How did you spend your youth? Special question about youth. So make sure you don't waste your time. I know you like playing games. But look, games are of 2 types, haram games and halal games. Haram games like Grand Theft Auto, where there is murder and rape and shooting and killing, haram, avoid it. Halal games where there's no this type of rape, murder, bad behavior, maybe FIFA or something like that, football. But too much halal games is also not good for you. Chocolates are halal. But if you were to eat chocolate all day from morning till evening, what's going to happen to your body? Chocolate is halal, but you can't eat chocolate all day. Similarly, games, maybe halal games you want to play, but you can't keep playing all day. Little bit of entertainment, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, and then finish, full stop. Go outside, play football, go in the parks, climb on the trees. That's what we used to do. We used to fall, break bones as well. It makes you stronger. One of my kids, Maulana Safwan, something,
We were in my father's house, Marhum Rahmatullah alayh, and one of them fell and banged his head. And my Haji said, "Chalo kahin majboot bande." Because when you bang your head, then you learn. But today we are raising children made from plastic. So we have to take them out into the park, go and climb on the trees, on the mountains, right? And be strong. They are bone strong, bano. Or इनको कुछ घी खिलाओ, gold cap वाला दूध पिलाओ, उसमें fat है, cream है, and make their bones strong. ये semi-skimmed or skimmed milk पिलाते हैं, कुछ भी नहीं है, there's nothing in there, no vitamin, no protein in there. So, make your children healthy. We used to, alhamdulillah, when we grew up, we had desi ghee. And the desi ghee is here still, alhamdulillah. Look at our elders. They're strong, mashallah. They come to masjid, sit over here, pray namaz. We don't want our children to grow up, plastic. So, take them outside. Don't keep them in the house. Right? Take them outside. Let them go play. So, these are few things to do. May Allah give us tawfiq to practice on what we learn. May Allah give us tawfiq to value our time. Be strong on our deen, iman, like Ibrahimovic. Learn the lessons from Ibrahimovic life. He was a young man. He was not yet made a prophet, but his wisdom guided him, directed him towards the truth. And he upheld the truth. And Allah looked at him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took him and made him, gave him such a high status. So we have to learn from there, and in our holidays, try and do something constructive. May Allah give us tawfiq to practice what we preach. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. परवरदिगार आलम महज अपने फजल और करम से हम सब की मग़फ़िरत फरमा दीजिए। अल्लाह जो कुछ कहा सुना उस पर हम सबको अमल की तौफीक अता फरमाइए। हमारे नौजवान बच्चों और बच्चियों के दीन और ईमान और अक़ीदा और अमाल की हिफाजत फरमाइए। अल्लाह हमारे औक़ात की हिफाजत फरमाइए। हमें टाइम के वैल्यू को समझने की तौफीक अता फरमाइए। हमारे जो बच्चे हाफिज हो रहे हैं, अल्लाह उन्हें बेहतरीन हाफिज बनाइए, जल्दी से हाफिज बना दीजिए। जो आलिम बन रहे हैं उन्हें बेहतरीन आलिम बनाइए। कुरान और हदीस के नूर से उनके सीनों को मुनव्वर फरमाइए। इनको अपनी छुट्टियों के अवकात में या अल्लाह कुछ कंस्ट्रक्टिव काम करने की तौफीक अता फरमाइए और छुट्टियों में टाइम वेस्ट करने से हिफाजत फरमाइए। हमारी छोटी छोटी दुआएं कबूल फरमाइए। हमारे नौजवान नस्लों की दीन और दुनिया दोनों में उनको टॉप बनाइए और दोनों में उनको आला दर्जे का मकाम नसीब फरमाइए। रब्बना तक़ब्बल मिन्ना इन्नका अंतस समीउल अलीम व तुब अलैना इन्नका अंतत तव्वाबुर रहीम। सल्लल्लाहु व सल्लिम अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद व आलिहि व सहबिहि अजमईन बिरहमतिका या अरहमर राहिमीन। I forgot to tell you, in holidays, many can become hafiz as well. In Gaza, I read some time ago, Gaza Strip, because it's like an open prison, they can't go anywhere for holidays. They have to stay inside. So their kids, they have 3 months holidays. More than 2,000-3,000 kids became hafiz in the 3 months holidays. They had nowhere to go, so might as well start. They started learning little bit some surahs, but they got so much into it, they started learning more and more and more and more, and within 3 months completed the whole Quran. So if you can become a hafiz, or if you are becoming hafiz and you can learn more, focus on your Quran more and do more siparas and become hafiz quickly. May Allah give you tawfiq. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakumullah khairan for attending and speaking to us and addressing us.